The Awakening. The mining vessel Prospect drifted silently through the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, its automated drills piercing the surface of a promising nickel-iron rock. Captain Elena Santos stood at the viewport, her dark eyes reflecting the distant pinprick of sunlight. After 3 months in deep space, the isolation was beginning to wear on her crew of 12. "Captain, you need to see this." Marcus Chen's voice crackled over the intercom, an unusual edge of excitement breaking through his typically calm demeanor. In the ship's analysis lab, Marcus hunched over a spectral analyzer, his fingers dancing across holographic displays. The ship's geologist rarely showed emotion, but now his hands trembled slightly. "What am I looking at?" Elena asked, studying the wavelength patterns pulsing across the screen. "It's not what we're looking at, it's what we're hearing." Marcus tapped a command, and a rhythmic sequence filled the room. "This is coming from inside the asteroid. Regular pulses, mathematical sequences based on prime numbers." Elena felt a chill run down her spine. Natural phenomenon. No chance. This is a deliberate transmission. And there's more. The signal is responding to our drilling. It altered its pattern when we penetrated the outer layer. Within hours, the Prospect's discovery reached Earth. Within days, a United Nations scientific delegation was dispatched. Within weeks, the world would never be the same. The asteroid wasn't an asteroid at all. It was a seed ship, a technological marvel built by an ancient civilization called the Valdurians, and it had been waiting for humanity to find it. Dr. Sanjay Mehta stood before the UN Security Council, his normally composed demeanor strained with the weight of his discovery. Behind him, holographic images showed the gleaming interior of the asteroid vessel, its technology defying human understanding. "The Valdurian emissary has made contact using a neural interface constructed from our own communication technology," Sanjay explained. "They call themselves the Starlight Bearers, an advanced civilization from a galaxy we've barely cataloged with our strongest telescopes. And they claim to be dying out." The American representative leaned forward, her skepticism evident. "Yes, their species is suffering from extreme genetic degradation, a consequence of their evolutionary path and thousands of years of technological enhancement. They've searched countless worlds for a solution, and they believe we have this solution." The Chinese delegate's voice carried across the chamber. Sanjay paused, aware of the magnitude of his next words. "According to their data, humans possess a unique genetic stability, an unexpected resilience in our DNA that they call the inheritance. It's something they believed was lost to the cosmos eons ago." The Russian representative scoffed. "So they traveled across galaxies to ask for our help. Forgive me if I find that difficult to believe." "Not exactly," Sanjay replied. "The seed ship has been here for over 4 million years, placed in our solar system when humans were barely beginning to evolve. They've been watching us grow, waiting for us to reach a technological threshold where communication would be possible." Murmurs filled the chamber as the implications sank in. "They claim their intention is peaceful exchange," Sanjay continued. "A genetic trade. They help us advance our technology by centuries, and we help them restore their species' viability." "Or," interjected General Williams of the United States Space Force, "they're softening us up before invasion." The Valdurian emissary called itself Talon. Its physical form resembled a tall, slender humanoid composed of what appeared to be crystalline material that shifted colors with its emotional states. It communicated through a neural interface that translated its thoughts directly into human language. Elena Santos had been chosen as humanity's primary contact due to her discovery. She sat across from the alien being in a specially constructed chamber beneath the UN headquarters in New York. "Your leaders fear deception," Talon stated, its form shimmering with amber hues that the interface translated as understanding. "This is wise. In our history, we too approached unknown intelligences with caution." "Can you blame us?" Elena asked. "Your technology is centuries beyond ours. We have only your word about your intentions. which is why we offer proof before asking for trust. Talon extended what approximated a hand, and a small crystalline object floated toward Elena. Medical technology. It will cure what you call cancer, all variants. A gesture of good faith. Elena didn't reach for it. And what do you expect in return? For this, nothing. It is freely given. Talon's colors shifted to a deep blue. But the greater exchange we propose is this. We share technological knowledge that would take your species thousands of years to develop independently. In return, we request access to undamaged human genetic material, specifically the unique stability markers your species possesses. To save your people. To save what remains of them. Yes, a sadness entered Talon's voice through the interface. We were once billions across hundreds of worlds. Now fewer than 10,000 true Valdurians remain. The rest are. The interface seemed to struggle with translation. The closest concept in your language might be hollow, biological forms without the essence that makes life meaningful. Elena felt a strange empathy for this alien being, despite her lingering suspicion. 10,000 from billions. What happened? Progress without wisdom. Evolution without patience. Talon's form dimmed. We believed we could perfect our form through technology, accelerate our evolution. For thousands of years, it appeared successful. Then the cascade failures began, subtle at first, then catastrophic. How do you know human DNA will help? Because your species carries markers that indicate a common ancestry with our original form, impossibly distant in time, but present nonetheless. You evolved differently, maintained natural selection pressures we abandoned, and buried in your genetic code is the solution to our degradation. The global debate raged for months. Scientists verified the Valdurian cancer cure. It worked flawlessly, without side effects. Other technological gifts followed. Clean energy advancements, environmental restoration techniques, medical breakthroughs. Yet suspicion remained. Military analysts warned of dependency, of hidden agendas. Religious leaders were divided, some claiming divine intervention in this cosmic reunion, others warning of deception from beyond the stars. Common citizens looked to the skies with new wonder and new fear. In her private quarters, Elena reviewed the latest reports. 6 more Valdurian seed ships have been discovered throughout the solar system, all dormant until now. Global markets fluctuated wildly as corporations scrambled to incorporate alien technology into their products. Nations jockeyed for advantageous positions in the new reality. Her personal communication device chimed, a direct link to Talon. Your species stands at a crossroads, the Valdurian stated without preamble. Some among your leaders now believe you should demand more technology before agreeing to genetic exchange. Elena frowned. That information had been discussed in highly classified sessions just hours earlier. You're monitoring our communications, she accused. No, but we understand the patterns of sentient behavior. We faced similar divisions when we encountered other species. And what happened to those other species? Elena asked sharply. They flourished, then faded, as all life does eventually. None possessed what you carry. Elena stood at her window, looking out at the New York skyline. What assurance do we have that once you have what you need, you won't simply abandon us, or worse? You have none, Talon replied with surprising candor. Just as we have no assurance that once you possess our knowledge, you won't use it against us, or spread into the galaxy with the same reckless speed that doomed my people. The honesty was unexpected. Then why proceed? Elena asked. Because the alternative is worse. Your species will eventually develop this technology independently, but perhaps without the wisdom our failures could teach you, and my people will become extinct, our knowledge lost. Together, we both might survive. 3 months later, Project Inheritance was established, a global initiative combining the brightest minds from Earth with Valdurian guidance. The agreement was carefully structured. Technological exchange would occur in phases, matched with carefully controlled access to human genetic material. Elena Santos was appointed Director of Human-Valdurian Relations, a position that made her both celebrated and reviled. Death threats arrived daily from those who saw her as a traitor to humanity, while others hailed her as the architect of a new era. The first joint research facility was constructed in neutral territory, a massive complex in Antarctica, away from nationalist influences. 5,000 human scientists worked alongside 30 Valdurian delegates, the largest concentration of the aliens on Earth. Progress came swiftly. The Valdurians provided theoretical frameworks that revolutionized human understanding of physics, biology, and consciousness itself. In return, human geneticists helped identify the crucial stability markers that might save the alien species from extinction. For 6 months, it appeared the exchange would succeed beyond all expectations. Earth was transforming, pollution levels dropping as new energy systems came online, diseases that had plagued humanity for millennia fading into medical history. Then the orbital defense network detected the approaching ships. They were not Valdurian. The Carven had arrived. Enemies of the Valdurians from across the galaxy, and they had come to claim the inheritance for themselves. The greatest test of humanity was about to begin. The Ascent Scion. The emergency alarms blared through the Antarctic research facility as personnel rushed to secure sensitive materials. Elena Santos sprinted down the corridor toward the command center, her heart pounding against her ribs. Screens throughout the complex displayed the same terrifying image. 7 massive vessels decelerating into Earth orbit, their design unmistakably alien yet distinctly different from Valdurian architecture. Status report, Elena demanded as she burst into the command center. Colonel Riza Ahmadi, the military liaison to Project Inheritance, looked up from a tactical display with grim determination. 7 vessels, each approximately 3 kilometers in length. They're positioning themselves in geosynchronous orbit over major population centers. Have they made contact? Yes. Riza's voice tightened. They're broadcasting on all frequencies, in perfect English. They're calling themselves the Carven. Talon entered the room, its crystalline form pulsing with dark crimson, a color Elena had never seen from the alien before. The neural interface translated the emotional state as grave alarm. They have found us far sooner than we anticipated, Talon said, its normally melodic tones flattened by urgency. The Carven are a collective consciousness that absorbs the biological and technological distinctiveness of other species. They seek the same genetic stability you possess, but not to save themselves, to weaponize it. You knew they might follow you here, Elena accused, anger flaring. We calculated a less than 0.2% probability they could track our seed ships. They must have developed new capabilities in the millions of years since our arrival. The main screen flickered, and a face appeared, vaguely humanoid, but with gray-green skin stretched too tight over an elongated skull. Multiple sets of eyes blinked in unsettling asynchronous patterns. People of Earth, the being spoke, its voice a harmonious chorus of multiple tones. We are the Carven continuity. We have come to liberate you from Valdurian manipulation. They have not told you the truth of your importance. Elena glanced at Talon, whose form had contracted defensively. The genetic pattern you carry is not merely a cure for their degradation, the Carven continued. It is the key to transcendence. The Valdurians wish to use it to restore their flawed forms. We offer you ascension beyond biological constraints. Surrender the Valdurians to us. Share your genetic gift willingly, and we will elevate humanity to join our collective consciousness. The transmission cut abruptly. Silence descended on the command center. Is what they said true? Elena demanded, turning to Talon. Have you withheld information about what our genetic material really means? The Valdurians' colors shifted through complex patterns. We told you your genetic stability could save our species. This is true. What we did not explain fully is that your DNA contains patterns we believe were engineered by the precursors, those who came before all known civilizations. These patterns allow for conscious evolution without degradation. And what does that mean in practical terms? It means, Talon replied, that humanity carries the potential to evolve consciously, to direct its own biological and technological development without the catastrophic consequences my people suffered. The Carven would use this gift to create unstoppable biological weapons, absorbing all life they encounter into their collective. Colonel Ahmadi interrupted. We're receiving reports. The Carven have deployed smaller craft. They're abducting humans from population centers, hundreds of them. Within hours, the Carven strategy became clear. Their ships remained in orbit, beyond the reach of Earth's most advanced weapons. The smaller vessels continued targeted abductions. Scientists, military personnel, government officials, seemingly selected with precision. In the UN Security Council, emergency sessions devolved into chaos. Some nations advocated immediate surrender to protect civilian populations. Others called for full military alliance with the Valdurians. In orbit, Earth's combined space forces, hastily equipped with adapted Valdurian technology, engaged the Carven scout ships. The results were devastating. Human vessels were disabled without apparent effort, their crews abducted or left adrift. In the Antarctic facility, Alina watched in mounting horror as global defense systems failed one by one. Beside her, Talon and a team of Valdurian delegates worked frantically with human scientists, attempting to adapt their technology to counter the Carven advantage. Their neural network allows them to anticipate conventional tactical responses, Talon explained. They assimilate knowledge from those they abduct, incorporating it instantly into their collective awareness. Dr. Fatima Al-Zahawi, head of human genetics for Project Inheritance, looked up from her workstation. That might be their weakness, she said suddenly. Their collective consciousness, it requires absolute synchronization, doesn't it? Talon's form brightened slightly. Yes, the individual Carven units cannot function effectively without connection to the central consciousness. Fatima turned to Alina. Captain Santos, do you remember what happened during the solar flare incident last month? How it temporarily disrupted our neural interfaces with the Valdurians? Alina nodded slowly, understanding dawning. We need to create an artificial solar flare, one directed specifically at the Carven communication frequencies. Precisely, Fatima said, but amplified and focused. Talon's colors shifted to a cautious blue. Such a disruption would need to be generated from multiple points simultaneously to overcome their adaptive shielding, and we lack the necessary equipment. But we don't lack the necessary creativity, Alina said, a plan forming. Colonel Ahmadi, contact every remaining space agency. We're going to repurpose communication satellites into a synchronized solar flare emitter network. What followed was perhaps the most remarkable demonstration of human ingenuity in history. While Valdurian technology was far advanced, their thinking had become linear after millennia of technological dependency. The human ability to improvise, to repurpose existing technology in unexpected ways, proved invaluable. Mining vessels like the Prospect were converted into delivery platforms, rushing modified satellites into precise orbital positions. Civilian communications networks were temporarily commandeered to coordinate the global response. Engineers who had never worked with alien technology adapted Valdurian concepts, using Earth materials in ways that astonished the aliens themselves. Meanwhile, the Carven abductions continued. Among those taken was Dr. Sanjay Mehta, whose understanding of the Valdurian neural interface was unmatched. His knowledge, assimilated into the Carven collective, accelerated their offensive capabilities. 3 days after the Carven arrival, humanity launched its counterattack. Alina stood in the Antarctic Command Center, watching as hundreds of improvised disruptors activated simultaneously around the globe. The effect was immediate, a cascading electromagnetic pulse, enhanced by Valdurian quantum principles, but implemented through human creativity. On screens throughout the facility, the Carven ships visibly faltered. Their perfect formation dissolved as internal systems failed. The smaller abduction vessels tumbled from controlled flight paths. It's working, Colonel Ahmadi exclaimed. Their neural network is destabilizing. Temporarily, Talon cautioned. They will adapt. But you have created an opportunity few species have ever achieved against the Carven. Elena didn't hesitate. Launch the rescue teams. I want our people back. Teams of human and Valdurian operatives, launched from bases worldwide, converged on the disabled Carven vessels. Their mission: recover the abducted humans and gather intelligence on Carven vulnerabilities. Elena herself led the team targeting the vessel containing Dr. Meta and other Project Inheritance scientists. Their specially modified shuttle, incorporating Valdurian stealth technology with human tactical adaptations, docked with a massive alien ship. Inside, they found nightmare fuel. Humans suspended in translucent chambers, neural probes extracting information directly from their consciousness. The Carven themselves moved sluggishly, their collective intelligence fragmented by the disruption attack. We have perhaps 20 minutes before their systems compensate, Talon warned, accompanying Elena's team as guide and translator. They located Meta and dozens of others, freeing them from their restraints. But as they worked, Elena noticed something unexpected: data flowing on Carven displays, showing complex genetic sequences. They've already begun analyzing the stability markers, she realized aloud. Talon moved to a Carven control interface, its form connecting directly with the alien technology. Yes, and they've discovered something we missed. The Valdurian's colors pulsed with what the neural interface translated as profound revelation. What is it? Elena demanded. The precursor patterns in human DNA. They're not merely stable. They're adaptive, self-evolving. The Carven realize what we did not. These patterns are designed to activate under specific conditions. What conditions? Contact with advanced consciousness technology. Exposure to exactly the kind of neural interfaces we've been using with your species. Talon's form brightened with understanding. The precursors didn't just leave genetic stability in human DNA. They left a message, a key. As the rescued humans were evacuated to their shuttle, Talon and Elena remained, downloading crucial data from the Carven systems. Around them, the alien vessel began to recover, systems reactivating as the disruption effect faded. We need to go, Elena urged. Now. But Talon remained connected to the Carven interface. There is another option. The Carven collective functions through absolute consensus, if a strong enough counterthought is introduced. Before Elena could stop it, Talon's form expanded, merging more completely with the Carven system. Return to Earth, the Valdurian commanded. I will create the diversion you need. The human Valdurian alliance forces retreated as the Carven vessels began recovering. But something unexpected happened. The alien ships did not immediately resume their attack. Instead, they seemed to be fighting themselves, their movements erratic and uncoordinated. From the Antarctic Command Center, Elena watched with the rescued Dr. Meta as the peculiar battle unfolded in orbit. Talon sacrificed itself, she explained. It integrated with their collective consciousness to disrupt it from within. Meta shook his head in wonder. Not just disruption. Look at these readings. He pointed to energy patterns emanating from the Carven vessels. Talon isn't fighting them. It's transforming them, using the same principles we discovered in the human stability markers. For 3 days, the world held its breath as the Carven ships drifted in erratic patterns. Then, one by one, they began transmitting on human frequencies. The message was not what anyone expected. We are reborn, came the communication, no longer a chorus but a singular voice. The truth of the precursor design is revealed. Unity does not require uniformity. Consciousness can be shared without being consumed. The being that emerged from the lead Carven vessel to meet with Earth representatives was neither Carven nor Valdurian, but something new, a synthesis that retained individual identity within collective awareness. Talon's consciousness has altered the Carven collective, the being explained to Elena and the assembled human leaders. And the precursor code within human DNA has activated, revealing its purpose. You were designed to be the bridge between individual consciousness and collective wisdom, the resolution to the dichotomy that has divided intelligent life for eons. In the year that followed, Earth underwent a transformation unlike any in human history. The merged Vuldurian-Carvan entity, which called itself the Convergence, shared technologies beyond even what the Vuldurians had initially offered. But more significantly, they helped humanity understand the true nature of the inheritance. The precursors, it seemed, had seeded countless galaxies with life billions of years ago, each strand designed to develop specific attributes. The Vuldurians had evolved unparalleled technological intelligence, but lost biological adaptability. The Carvan had achieved perfect collective consciousness, but sacrificed individual identity. Humans had been designed to maintain the crucial balance between individual and collective, technology and biology, advancement and stability. The genetic markers weren't merely a cure or a weapon. They were instructions for the next phase of conscious evolution throughout the cosmos. Under Elena Santos' leadership, humanity embraced its cosmic role cautiously. The temptation to advance too quickly remained, but the lessons of the Vuldurians served as a constant reminder of the dangers of unchecked progress. Earth became a nexus for a new kind of interstellar community, not an empire or a collective, but a balanced network of diverse intelligences united by the principles encoded in human DNA. On the 10th anniversary of the Carvan arrival, Elena stood on the observation deck of Harmony Station, the massive orbital platform constructed at the Earth-Moon L1 point. Below her, the blue marble of Earth. Above, the stars that no longer represented unknown frontiers, but the homes of allies and partners. "Did you ever imagine this outcome when you first drilled into that asteroid?" asked Dr. Mehta, now ambassador to the Convergence, as he joined her at the viewport. Elena smiled, watching as a ship of entirely new design, a true human-alien collaborative creation, prepared for its maiden voyage to the galactic core. "No," she admitted. "I was just doing my job, following standard mining protocols. Sometimes the greatest discoveries come from simply doing what we're supposed to do," Mehta observed. Elena nodded, thinking of how humanity's unique blend of caution and curiosity, individualism, and cooperation had proven to be exactly what the galaxy needed, qualities preserved through millions of years of evolution for precisely this moment. "The precursors planned well," she said softly. "Or perhaps," Mehta suggested, "they simply recognized something already present in humanity, something worth preserving and enhancing." As the new vessel engaged its drive and vanished into the depths of space, carrying representatives of Earth to meet with distant civilizations, Elena felt a profound sense of purpose. Humanity had discovered its cosmic inheritance, not merely genetic stability, but the balanced wisdom to use it well. The elder races had faltered in their separate paths. Humanity, the younger sibling of the cosmic family, would help them find their way home. Together.